That's a shame. He's asked, what's the worst dining experience you've ever had at a meal? Quite like that question. So for me, it was Chiquitos, 100%. It was awful. Post-prep, it was like 2-3 weeks afterwards. And the reason why I say post-prep is because post-prep, your hunger sense start, like
post-prep, you just binged all the time.
No, you're just going to, literally, me and Sanaya had like, we planned it out. Finn had hyped it up through the entirety of the prep. And we were like, no, Finn had hyped it up before. We're like, oh, Chiquito's awesome. It's really good. So we went there thinking, oh, yeah, this will be a nice meal. Nice, like, date night or whatever. I think we went bowling or something. Shout out Meridian in
if you're listening,
yeah, Meridian. Yeah, Meridian in Rugby? No, not Rugby. Foss Park. Leicester. And pretty much we went there and it was absolutely shocking. Food was awful. The woman who served us, it was more so the server, like the service quality. We sat down. She didn't know at all what we were asking because it was our first time. Like, oh, how big's this? What's this like? Nothing like at all that would take other than somebody to go, yeah, you might prefer this. Or okay, it's this big. She didn't have a clue. She had to ask her manager to ask how big the burritos are. I'm like, how are you working at a place? You don't know what the burritos
are.
Might
have been her first day or something.
No, but she was awful. She then goes to us. She was like, oh, do you want any sauces? And we were like, yeah. What sauces do you have? Because it's a Mexican place. They might not have like the standard like ketchup and mayo, and you don't want ketchup and mayo with like a
Go on.
And she was like, oh, all the sauces, any sauce you want. And we were like, which is, and she was like,
like we've
got
all the flavours.
Yeah, she was like, no, she genuinely didn't know. She had no idea. So we were like, what the hell? Well, our food then comes out, and it was like, I think it came out like half hour afterwards. We were waiting around a good amount of time, and then she comes up to us 3 times while we're eating, and she's like, yeah, is there any chance you can pay now because the tills are closing in like 15 minutes. And we were like, yeah, we'll probably be done by then. Like, we'll pay. And then she was like, okay, cool. And then she comes out, I actually need you to pay now. And we were like, okay, cool, we'll pay now. And then the card machine didn't work or something. She then comes back over another card machine while we're trying to eat. And then she comes over and goes, we're actually closing up a bit early. And we're like, Jesus, we're just trying to eat the meal. And the food was really average. It wasn't awful. It was just very mid. And we literally were like, this is the work. Like, we paid. We didn't even feel like we relaxed and enjoyed a meal. The food was like rushed, but it was took its time. And it was just an awful experience. So that's the first one that pops up in my head. But I probably had worse, but that wasn't good. We literally finished, and I sent Finn a voice note, and I was like, mate, Chiquito's awful.
Yeah, but that's that experience. Like, it's not the food. If you'd have gone at 7 p.m. and you'd got a good waitress, you'd have probably been like, oh, it was really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd say my worst one was Frankie and Benny's.
Yeah.
So back in the day, there was a Frankie and Benny's in Scunthorpe, like it was about 20 minutes from where I used to live, and like it was banging. Like, you'd go Frankie and Benny's for your birthday, your 14th birthday, it was like Frankie and Benny's, and you'd get penne arrabbiata or whatever.
Frankie and Benny's was elite back in the day.
Yeah, it used to be elite. Incredible.
Yeah,
like I'm sure people will know.
Like top tier. It was the place to be. I used to go every birthday. It was like renowned. You go to Frankie and Benny's.
It was fantastic.
It has fallen off a cliff. Like, we need to think of an analogy.
This is my
Mate, you're so rude. It is ridiculous. Your prep's getting hard. That 25 cards.
Mate, I'm rude. I'm telling my story about Frankie and Benny's.
Carry on, mate. Go on.
You're jumping in down my throat.
A bit rude, you are. Go on, carry on.
So anyway, I used to love Frankie and Benny's, as Reese did, because he just rudely interrupted me and jumped in about how much he loved it. So yeah, we both used to love Frankie and Benny's. All right, we don't need a competition of who liked it more. We both liked Frankie and Benny's.
It's a podcast. We're talking.
We both like Frankie and Benny's.
Carry on.
So anyway, me and Shannon went to IKEA probably like 2 years ago. I think it was maybe before lockdown, actually. And there's a Frankie and Benny's like on the complex, and we were like, oh yeah, we'll go Frankie and Benny's. Like, it's pretty good food. And we went, and it was literally like the worst meal I've ever had. I don't know what changed, but everybody says the same that I spoke to since. And it was literally just like
flour,
a tiny chicken breast.
Yeah.
Like I got whatever chicken meal, and it was like a tiny chicken breast, and like some peas and like some shit. Like, it was like a kid's meal. And it was like £14, and it, like, if I'd have paid like £3.99 for it, I'd have been like, yeah, fair enough. But it was like 14 quid, and it was honestly horrendous. Like, the music was awful. It was just like, what the fuck has happened? Like, I remember it used to be like quite nice Italian music.
It was nicely lit.
It was just like
I used to go all the time, and I remember I went
horrendous.
Like a few years back, probably like 2018, 19. And I was like, that was awful. And then I went again, like maybe a couple months after, and I was like, oh, it's really bad. Like,
they must really have had somebody like take over. Maybe Frankie and Benny got kicked out, and
Frank and Ben, big Frank and
they got kicked out and got a big takeover from Qatar or something like that. And then all they focused on was profit.
I'd say another one actually. I had food at the Selfridges, like top of Selfridges in London. So like it was like a rooftop bar. like, and it was when I was in London in December, and it was freezing cold, like freezing cold, and it was like there was no insulation, and like it was like you had to have a certain amount of like bowls and stuff. It was like a pick your own food, and everything was just coated in oil, and it was just awful.
Oh, to be fair, one more. We'll move on from this question in a minute.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about that tapas restaurant in Budapest.
I think so.
So we were in Budapest, me and Shannon, like last year, and we went on TripAdvisor. And we're like, right, we'll go somewhere like high on the TripAdvisor. We were like in the centre. And we were like, we'll find somewhere. And this tapas place came up, and it was like 11 on TripAdvisor, and it was like there was hundreds on there. So it was like that's pretty high.
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, tapas sound like you get loads of different stuff to choose from. That's pretty cool.
Tapas.
It's just like different little bits of food. So we're like, yeah, that'll be spot on. We went, and it was literally like the worst meal I've ever had. Like they tried to keep you in there for ages. We were in there for like 3 hours trying to escape for like the last 2. We ordered 10 dishes, and the guy was like, oh no, you should order this. It says trust the chef.
Yeah.
You should order this. You should order this. That he'll get you what you want. And we were like, well, we don't want that, and we're actually going to pay you more because we're going to choose all these other things. Because like Shannon's quite picky with food. I don't want something that I don't want. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't want to trust the chef and then give me whatever. I want to choose what I want. Yeah. So we chose what we wanted, and the guy was like, yeah, whatever, that's fine. And then he was like, because you've ordered 10, I'll bring it out as like 3-3-4 or 4-3-3. 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Play a 4-3-3. I was like, yes, I. So he did that, but like he brought out 4, and then like we'd finished, and then it took like half an hour to bring out the next 3.
That's honestly that's one pet peeve I have.
And then like another half an hour, and the next 3. So like we
they
were
want,
like, oh, yeah,
they
that's
want
a
you
good
to have
idea.
drinks and stuff like that.
But we thought that sounds good because then the table won't be cramped with loads of dishes. So we're like, yeah, sound. But then we were literally there for like 3 hours, and the guy was he was such a salesman. Yeah. But it was like doing the opposite. Like I hate people that are overly salesy. And he was trying to sell us this drink and that drink, and we were like, mate, just fucking get us the food. Obviously, we didn't say that.
Yeah.
But like some of the food was awful as well. Like we probably ate like a quarter of it. Like it was really bad. But there was one good thing at the end. He gave us some free ice cream, which he gave to everybody, because he was like going around to every table like, oh, this is on us. And it's like, yeah, mate, you're fucking doing it to everyone. We're not special. It's pistachio ice cream, and he was like, this is the best ice cream you ever had. And we were like, yeah, right, this place is shit. And to be fair, it was fucking mint. The ice cream was amazing. So the ice cream kind of savoured it. And also the memories, because me and Shannon like laugh about it.
The memories. So what? You got memories over?
Memories. No, that day was tapas over memories.
Oh, okay.
No, memories over tapas.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know what it was, but either way,
you wouldn't have known the macros, would you?
Nah, the macros weren't on the menu.
So memories.
It was memories that day. I was on holiday though.
So memories already. That's guaranteed memories. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Right.